Good morning, good morning. Welcome to a new month, new theme. It's August, a world that works for everyone. Breathe that in, a world that works for everyone. And today's talk is immersed in it, because we are. We are immersed in it. We're immersed in that one world that works for everyone. We are immersed in it. We are surrounded by it. We're living through that energy, which is all life. Take, for example, the analogy of the fish, right? It's born in water. It lives its whole life in water. It is surrounded by water. It is immersed in water. Water is flowing into it and out of it. It's all around the fish. It is part of the fish. It's flowing through the fish. Water is the source of its life. Water brings its food to it. Water brings its mate to it. The fish can go anywhere it wants to go in the water. We're the fish. We are the fish. We live and move and have our being in this energy that is surrounding us all the time, that we call the beloved. This energy, which is spirit, surrounds us. It is in the very air we breathe. It's flowing all around us. It is flowing through us. We're inhaling it and we're exhaling it. It's supporting us. It's responding to us. The very air that we breathe is alive with the power and presence of the divine. It's all there. It is all there surrounding us. Every possibility that exists in the here and now, and it surrounds us as energy. We resonate at certain frequencies, do we not? And we bring things to us into manifestation in our lives. We resonate at certain frequencies, we manifest certain frequencies. We are sending and receiving signals all the time. Like radio frequencies. Radio frequencies are all around us in the air right now. Every single radio is broadcasting at a frequency, and it's surrounding us right now, and we just are not tuned into it. So like radio frequencies, we are broadcasting, we are sending and receiving signals all the time in this energy that surrounds us. So what are we broadcasting, and what are we tuning into? Right? Are you K-Love? LUV? Or have you tuned into KRAP radio? Are you K-Joy? Or are you hate talk? You know? What are you tuning into? What are you broadcasting? What are you receiving? Ernest Holmes did a broadcast, interestingly enough, in this thing called Life, and the name of the talk was Your Spiritual Broadcasting Station. And he said this, he said, we are all broadcasting stations, whether or not we know it. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our faiths, our fears tend to make an imprint on our environment, to flow through everything we do and to influence everyone we meet. We are also receiving sets. But it does not follow that we must tune in to every program being broadcast. When we want to listen to a certain program, we tune our radios into that wavelength. The program is already there within the energy of the room, but it doesn't affect our instrument until we tune into it. And that's our free will. That is our free will that enables us to tune into and to demonstrate the broadcast of our choice. The airwaves are already filled with every thought, every emotion, every belief that there is. It is our decision, it is our choice to tune into, then resonate with, then begin to manifest what? The blues? Rap? Classical, comedy, tragedy, soap operas, adventures, political commentary, motivational talk. We are free to tune into any of it. It's all there. It surrounds us all the time. We're immersed in it. And we get to pick and choose from among the infinite what we will tune into, what we will resonate with, and what we will then begin to demonstrate. You know, happy people look out on a happy world. Unhappy people look out on an unhappy world. It's the same world. Same goes for fear. Fearful people look out on a fearful world. They become afraid of life. Fearless people look out on a safe world, looking forward to their next great adventure. Grumpy people see a grumpy world, and critical people see a world that's in need of fixing all the time. Complaining people look at a world full of things to complain about. People whose thoughts and ideas are immersed in truth see a world of love and joy and infinite possibility. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, if a man invents something better than anybody else, it's a revelation. We must keep our minds open at the top for that divine influx in everything that we do, think, or say. And we must draw away from the negation, which draws us into slimy discord. I love that. Draws us into slimy discord because the dissolution of the whole human race is right there, ready to pour itself into us. Tune into harmony, and you get a dozen beautiful programs. Tune into discord, and you'll get a dozen commentators screeching negation. Yet they all belong to the kingdom of God. Let's not resist them, but recognize them for what they are. Look, the negative Nellies have always been around, right? Always. Think back on your life. The naysayers, the complainers, the whiners, they've been with us from the very beginning. Hey, no looking around this room. Don't be looking around this room. I'm not talking about vision. I'm talking about the world at large. I'm talking humankind. We know better. We've done our work. No matter what we do, there will always be critics. Like Ernest Holmes said, if somebody can invent something that's never been invented before, and it's a revelation, it's grand. And we must draw away from the negative. Do what we do. We're immersed in all of life, all of emotion, all possibility. And we have to pick and choose from among that what we will resonate with. And we can choose to allow those negative Nellies to pull us down. You know, you've heard the bucket of crab analogy. We've heard that, right? The bucket of crabs. When the one crab starts climbing out of the bucket, the other crabs will grab it by its leg or by its claw and, pull it back into the bucket. I don't really think that's what's going on, but it's a great analogy. I mean, I really think they're probably hanging on to him, trying to, get out with him. I don't know. But the idea is there, that if they can't get out, they're going to pull him back down into the crowd, So that is true with us. We can keep letting the negative keep us down, keep us from doing the good work, keep us from doing the big work, to keep us from inventing that thing that no one's ever invented before. We can let the negative overcome the good that we are in the process of manifesting, or we can persevere. We can persevere. We can stand in the truth of our own desires, our own inventions, our own creations, and we stand up to the complainers. Most of the complainers are the ones that stand on the sidelines anyway. They're not doing the work. They're just complaining about how you're doing it. Don't even let them get you down. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, I tune out all the dull, negative ideas and tune in with the sunshine of life, with the brightness, with the laughter, with the joyous presence that is life itself. Isn't that a happier tune? That's the truth of our being. Tune out the dull and the negative and tune in the sunshine, the brightness, the love, the joyous presence that is the truth of our being. That is life itself. So as we're inventing those things that have never been invented before, we're inventing our lives, which has never been invented before because we're the only ones that can do it. Keep your eyes on your own paper, right? You invent your own life. We stay open for that divine influx, like Ernest Holmes said, and we do not let the world voice, that critical voice of the world, get us down, that negative, critical, whatever voice, drown out what we're here to do. It just wants to criticize, but we don't have to let it run our lives. The voice is forever whispering in our ear of a greater joy yet to be experienced. The voice of Spirit is forever whispering in our ear of a greater good we have not yet experienced. So don't let the voice of the world stop you from doing anything you know in your heart you're here to do. The voice of Spirit is a force of creation, not criticism. The voice of Spirit is a loving force. It is not a hating force. The voice of Spirit speaks in terms of potential, not condemnation. The voice of Spirit always urges us on. It doesn't ever shut us down. So if you have critics in your life, tell them to, you're doing a lot of this. I want you to do this. We're all doing it the best we can. We're all doing the best we can. We have to just keep doing it. We're all immersed in the same stream of living. We are all immersed in that same stream of living. We are all immersed in the same energy. We all draw from that what we will manifest. We're all sharing the same one mind. We all have access to the same wisdom. But what we do is we individualize it. And we manifest what is uniquely ours to do, to be, to have, and to say that no one else does. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, life flows into everything, through everything. It passes into every human event and translates itself through every human act. If you learn to think of life as flowing through your every action, you will soon discover that the things you give your attention to are quickened with new energy, for you are breathing the very essence of being into them. You are breathing the very essence of being into them. So it is incumbent upon us to sit in potential, to sit in what we love to do, to sit in our desires to make manifest, not into the fears and not into the I can'ts and not into the worry, and not into the what if I fail, but it's to resonate into the potential, to put all of our energy into the potential. We are actively engaging in a spiritual practice, praying, meditating, doing everything that we need to do to hear that still small voice of Spirit. And then we cannot possibly go wrong. Sometimes that means being still. Sometimes it means being still and doing nothing. Sometimes it means being active and putting one foot in front of the other and doing. We are in communion with the divine on a daily basis. We learn to trust and rely on that still small voice, on that voice of intuition, which will never steer us wrong. And sometimes it means we need to sit still and do nothing and get clear. And sometimes it means we have to put one foot in front of the other and we need to go in the direction of that intuitive voice. It's like sailing. That's like the third sea analogy I've used today. I think I need a vacation. There's been a lot of sea analogies today, from the fish to the crabs. Okay, it's like sailing. You know how sometimes when you sail, you just go, right? The wind is at your back. You put the sail up, man, you're just going. You don't have to hardly do anything but set the sail. You're just going with the flow. Now, there's some critical voices out there that tell you only dead fish go with the flow. I know that one. But again, we're the people of both ends. Sometimes that's exactly what is called for, is just going with the flow. Little exercise, almost no energy at all. Just put the sail up, the wind is at our back, and we're just flying. Takes hardly any energy on our part. We're just going. And sometimes you've heard the expression, that we have the wind at our back and the sail is full and we just don't have to do anything. Well, we still have to what? We still have to direct. We still have to direct where the boat is headed. We still have to direct where the boat is headed. If we're sailing across the wind, there's more work to do. So this is the time period in which, okay, we just can't just sit back. We have to do something. This is the take those little steps. This is the treat and move your feet part, right? The wind is across the boat. So now we have to do a little more work. And we know we can't sail directly into the wind. What is that, in irons? Is that what it's called? John Hankey, you would know that, right? You can't sail directly into the wind. It's in irons. So what do? We tack at that point. A little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little. But it gets us where we're going. We might have to go zigzag. We might have to go the creative route. But it gets us where we're going. So when we're in that prayer, when we're in that meditation, when we're hearing the still small voice of Spirit, sometimes it tells us be still and do nothing. Sometimes it tells us we have work to do. We need to put one foot in front of the other. We need to create something. We need to walk forward. Ernest Holmes in The Contagion of Fear said this. He said, I cannot help but believe that divine mind, which is certainly present everywhere, is free from all fear. It is free from all fear. There is nothing for God to be afraid of. And if we can and do tune into the thoughts of others, and if they can affect us, which they certainly do, why shouldn't we learn to tune into the mind of God instead, which is free from all doubt and fear? And this is what is meant by prayer and meditation. For in the act of prayer and meditation, we do commune with the invisible Spirit. We do draw on its strengths, its peace, and its serenity, and we draw that into our own souls. And as a result, we become strong and self-reliant because we have built up that confidence in life. We have that faith, we have that conviction which wards off all fear. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, just as a germ of physical disease is less liable to infect a well body, which resists it, so the germ of mental fear is resisted by a whole and happy and healthy mind. So that's our job. That is what we're here to do. We're here to experience more of life. We are here to dissolve away the fear, anything that comes before us that is a false belief, and stand in the power of Spirit as us. The I am that I am is fearless. We are immersed in it. It is surrounding us every moment of every day. We can't get away from the energy which is Spirit. It is everywhere equally present. So we rely on it, we commune with it, we surrender to it for a greater expression of who we are, and we allow it to have its way with us. We are immersed in a living energy which responds to our thoughts and outpictures according to our predominant beliefs. Love begets love. Happiness begets happiness. Gratitude begets more reasons to be grateful. We are immersed in a responsive, reflective universe. We must tune in to the demonstrations of our greatest desires. We have to set aside all thoughts of limitation, all thoughts of lack. We have to tune out the voice of the world, the critical parent or the critical boss, and we have to stay true and strong to our invention, our own unique invention, like Ernest Holmes said, but that is our life. Our life is our invention. And to stay true to that, we're immersed in a power and presence that will get us wherever we want to go. And we need to rely on it, depend on it. And the way to do that is through our spiritual practice. So here's your homework this week. Here is your homework this week. Whatever your spiritual practice is, continue. Whatever your meditative practice is, expand it. If you meditate once a day, who meditates once a day? Yay, look at this. Woohoo! We have meditators. Meditate twice a day. Who meditates twice a day? Yay, meditate 3 times a day. Whatever you're doing on your spiritual practice, continue, enlarge, expand. If you're meditating for 5 minutes, go for 10. Meditating for 10 minutes, go for 12. And open and hear that still small voice and simply allow yourself to surrender to your own greater good. We are immersed in it. We can't get away from it. We are those fish. Enjoy the water. Thank you so much.